wonder if the Pope would feel like I should be liberated from this ongoing torturous existence that I've been enduring all my life. I wonder if how he'd feel about it. You know, gonna make a video. We ain't gonna have that. Yeah, let me fix that. I mean, I believe that since the Pope met certain individuals, he's been under some kind of mind control, MK Ultra, scopolamine or something. And I feel that way about Bruce Jenner, Caitlyn Jenner, because for all his life he was the epitome of masculinity. And those people who are truly transgender like me have moments in their childhood, moments of clarity when they had an epiphany as a child that they were different, that they were in the wrong body, that something wasn't right. And there's always somebody from their childhood who can attest to this. Like in my case, it's my aunt. I remember being in the bathroom with her, and I went pee, and I remember telling her that when I grow up, I have to get my penis cut off because it doesn't belong there. I didn't understand how the operations worked back then. I was just a little kid, probably 3 or 4 years old. And I remember her saying to me, "But how will you pee?" Okay? This is my Aunt Flo, my Aunt Florence Schifani. Well, now she's Florence Stroyan. Before that, she was Florence Hyde. But yeah, at the time, she was not married. Now, I don't believe that I'm special enough to warrant the millions of dollars it would have taken for me to be an ongoing MK Ultra mind control subject. Okay? So I don't believe back when I was 3 and 4 years old, before the days of the media programming and the foods and the air and the toxic water and the vaccines and the toxic drugs and the toxic psycho depressants and stuff like that. It's like in an era before all these things were prevalent, it's like I would have had to be a very special individual to warrant that level of attention from the government spooks, that it would have required to do this. So it's like I believe in my case I am a real transgender person because I knew really young. And I did a lot of evil things trapped in this body that I would not have done had I had my body. I could not have done some of the things that I had my body, right? And, it's like I feel like the 32 years of martial law I've been under since, I've been an adult. I have not had a driver's license, which is the most important aspect of freedom to me, is the independence of being able to, ride my horse. Well, in this era, it's a vehicle. To ride my horse to work and do my job and then ride my own horse home. Not to be some little child that has to be drove. I want to be equal to the other men that are working at work. It's like I've done what was required of me. 23 years ago now, I did what was required of me. They wouldn't give me my license back. And then last year, they wouldn't give me my license back, even though I hired a lawyer, an incompetent lawyer, who didn't properly represent me from 3 different angles of the law, even the one that Obama signed off on, Map 21. It's like I'm supposed to be driving right now. I'm supposed to be independent. I ain't supposed to be on SSI no more. I had a driving job lined up, and I'm sure if I got my license tomorrow, I'd have a driving job within a month because I'm like that, And it's like here I am on SSI. My health is failing due to it's an ongoing rape to me, this lack of justice. And it's been like a conspiracy all my life to keep me from prosperity so that I couldn't accomplish what was my ultimate personal goal. My ultimate goals are to build like animal sanctuaries and homeless shelters and fight against pedophilia and stuff like that and against violence and rape, But on a personal level, I have a personal agenda of transformation, that's been on the back burner all my life. Um, to get my implants, my hormones, my sexual reassignment surgery, my facial feminization, hair restoration, and the procedures to smooth my skin out so that it's not I don't have to work so hard to stay smooth. You see, um, these are things that they've been like the ultimate goal for me all my life. One of the things that I was trying to be, I worked very hard to become successful, and I failed at all the things that I tried, and this agenda is like one of the things that has driven me, to correct this mistake, to get my proper body, the body that I should have, because I'm not an adequate male. I'm very inept at being a male. Okay, if I was my own gender, I feel like um, I could be living a real life. I could be productive. I can make positive impacts from within, a body that's closer to what I'm supposed to have. My spirit is the spirit of a woman placed in the body of a man, and not even, a desirable body. It's like I'm placed in this little guy. This um, hairy and balding and toothless and stuff. It's like I I've reached the end of my rope. You know, I smile about it because it's kind of laughable. But it's like I've been, screaming and yanking on these chains, man. Especially the last few years, trying to, attract the attention of somebody that could do something. I'm not a deadbeat who wants a handout. Hey, just give me something and you won't get nothing in return. I'm willing to reciprocate in whatever ways, are necessary, as long as it doesn't involve hurting another of God's creations. Okay? So that means, you know, it's all on the table, all the way down to if you can wait, I'll just pay you back plus interest, because I sincerely believe that I will accomplish more once I've gotten my proper gender. And I really wonder, everybody's so, hey, the Pope this, Pope that. Um, I really wonder if he had the opinion that, hey, this person should finally be forgiven of his sins of his childhood, you know, and he should finally be given a life, and he should be granted liberation from this body that he finds it so torturous to be in. He should be granted liberation. He hasn't had his own gender all his life. He's 50, gonna be 51 years old. The end of this month, I'm gonna be 51 years old in 4 days, August 31st. Yeah, it's like, it would be wonderful if someone like the Pope not only had the opinion that I should be liberated, rescued from this, but like if they, if they couldn't publicly do it, would secretly help. I have all kinds of links. I have GoFundMe links. I have PayPal donate buttons on blogs. It's like I have stuff everywhere to make it possible for people to donate anonymously. They could buy like a card, one of them cards, and put some money on it and donate anonymously. I have my P.O. box out there. I tell people all the time, it's P.O. Box 105, Grayling, Michigan, 49738. It's P.O. Box 105, okay? Vincent Ciofani, Ciofani. It's like I want to change my name. Well, I'm not going to tell people the possibilities, though, because when I do this, I don't want it to be a big show like the Jenner circus, this is a sacred event. Getting my real gender, it's sacred to me. What I do with my body, from those moments forward is going to be sacred, consecrated. If it ever happens, it's looking like it's not going to happen, man. I'm giving up My health is failing. My face is starting to show my age. I'm at the age where now the female hormones parts of me are giving up, and the menopausal stuff. For those of you who don't know, I did have like a natural um, aggressive duality. I was just as feminine as I am masculine, you know. Um, so I'm just as much a man as I am a woman, and I'm going through the older woman hormonal changes, the maturity, where now the masculine stuff's starting to take over. I'm starting to lose the curves, um, and it's breaking my heart because that was all I had of the real me was the curve to my body that I'm losing. Um, in this, it's like I have to get fat and gain weight, and be fat just to have curve, and then it doesn't look good because of the fat. Um, so I'm faced with this huge dilemma that time is doing to me, and it's like the forces that have been sabotaging this transformation of my life are winning. I don't want them to win. I want revenge, but I don't want their blood. I want them to lose. I want to win. I want to conquer them. I want to have my breasts, my pretty face, the what fat I do have transferred to my ass to reclaim my curve. My gender reassignment surgery. I want all the things that they've been depriving me of, and then I want to be able to take that entity that I become and relieve as much unnecessary suffering as I can in all realms. Now, that God's going to relieve all unnecessary suffering, even in sub realities. That means video games that have people um, desensitized to the unnecessary suffering. So that means that He's going to manipulate time backwards and cause those who created those games not to exist. Because we really do have it's bad, willful disregard. I've been trying to raise money for animals. I've been trying to raise money to feed these kitties and get them, some of them fixed. I wanted to buy an old ranch somewhere and just start taking them there, transpose it into, an animal sanctuary little by little, since, I couldn't get the participation to just build one, you know. It's like, it would be nice, in a fantasy world, I could do a video like this, and somebody like the Pope in his position of power be like, he should be liberated. All right? He shouldn't have to exist anymore as something he doesn't want to be. Okay? He should be allowed to have the transformation that he's been aiming for since he was a 3-year-old child. All right? It's like, I know I was evil as a child. I have not been that person for years. I've been married for 25 years. My wife can attest to who and what I am now. My wife consents to my transformation because she knows how miserable I am. She knows I battle against suicide. It's not depression. It's an intelligent acceptance of the futility at the thought that one day I might get liberated to what I'm supposed to be. You see, this is not what I'm supposed to be. I'm not supposed to be kicking stone for everybody. I'm not supposed to be everybody's personal little punching bag. I'm not supposed to be everybody's little thing to point at and laugh at. I'm not supposed to be the guy that, because you regard me as a freak, you think it's okay to, divide my house with my wife. You see, I'm not supposed to be this. And, the options are there, the post office box, the PayPal buttons, the things are there in a fantasy world. This, it may be my final plea. I may never put it out there like this again. because all people do is make fun of it, thumbs down my videos. Whenever I do anything from the heart, you know, it's like they're there to trample it like white rhinos at a fire. You see, um, it's like it would be great if, in response to one of these, you know, cries for help from, I'm a sinking out here. If there was some real people that, could change it quick, where I could see a quick, I could quickly get my sex change done. I could quickly get back in front of a therapist, a real therapist that will give me the thing that I need, for the doctor to be able to go ahead and give me my operations. Because I have been secretly living as a woman for longer than a year, but I'm very conscious of the freak thing on society. I don't want to subject children to my sexuality, and I don't think that it's right to do that. Like, how Bruce Jenner is still in transition, so he's going through the freaky stage. That's something you should be keeping private, and you should not be going out in public, um, you know, pretending to be a woman, using women's bathrooms, and you're still a man. To me, that goes against um, my religious beliefs. Okay, you're going in a women's bathroom, but you still have a dick. Okay, this is what society is doing. They're forcing this on you. You don't know that your woman is in the bathroom. There's a man in the bathroom that looks like a woman. He hasn't transitioned yet because society has laws that dictate that your woman has to be subjected to that. You see, they have to go out in public and live as freaks. I have to go live as a freak, is what the laws are trying to say. Now I wonder if the Pope will feel like, hey, all this time and you're going to hold him back a year if he finally does get the money, right? It's like I'd love to be liberated from a place where they have mean, corrupt laws like that. Laws for no reason at all. There's no reason for their law. You know, where are the real men in Congress? Where are the real men lawmakers? It's like, don't you have daughters? Okay, don't any of you regard some of us as, hey, that would be freaky. My kid's in the bathroom. She's only 9 years old, and here, this person's in there. They still have a penis. Come on, man. You're supposed to fight against corrupt shit like this being law. Okay? And this is a law that I have to go use the women's bathroom with a penis for a year. I have to go to the bathroom too much to require that of me. Okay? So I need help from powerful people, because smaller people have dictated that they're going to trample on me and bully me just because I'm littler than them. I don't have my proper gender now. It's like, what would it take? What would it take to get the participation to get out of this torture chamber? What would it take for somebody somewhere to understand how torturous it must be? What would it take for even some women in power to be like, hey, I can't imagine waking up as a hairy little dude. I can't imagine waking up without my breasts and my vagina and my pretty face, my smooth body and my full head of hair. I can't imagine it. And they have to do it for 51 years. I can't picture being able to do it. It's like, what would it take for that epiphany, that realization, for that regard, to replace that willful disregard that everyone's been subjecting me to replace it with regard? Be like, hey, man, that is torture. Okay? It really is. I just would like for a few people to consider that have judged me and trampled me and kicked me and thwarted things that would have worked for me and would have had me out of this by now. Because I may never get out now. So I hope you're happy.